The beautiful part of the Hall of Fame speeches is that you're talking about real life and real life issues, and a man who's all about that is a freshly minted Pro Football Hall of Famer. I love this man. I have love for him. I couldn't have been more happy to see him get enshrined. His name is Ed Reed, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Ed?
I'm good, Rich. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. Have you been able to...
Just heard that guy speaking, man.
Yep.
Just heard that interview that you was doing with the guy Manning there, man. And my heart goes out to him and all the families. You know, I sat and talked with some police officers after when I was about to leave at the Canton airport there about stuff like that, man. And, you know, that's exactly what I was speaking on.
How did you decide what to speak on, Ed? I mean, you have so many interests, and you are comprised of so many different parts and people that have influenced you throughout your life. How did you come up with a lot of that stuff?
I mean, some of it was kind of on the run because I was going through a lot of emotions. You know, I got a text at 8:30 about my auntie passing, and you know, it's just really so much. You know, it's so much over the years I've seen. You know, this stuff I talk about in cigar lounges with people, random people from different walks of life, because we all affected about it. You know, we don't like to address the elephant in the room. You know, that our country does have a problem. You know, our country has a major problem. Our country has a major problem with our head coach right now who's leading this country. You know, on the things that he says, and now he's trying to retract back on it, you know, because it's getting close to voting time. You know, and that's not right, man. We need to understand as the people, this divided country, that we need to come together. Like, we really need to unite and understand that a major problem is mental illness, and it's not just affecting, you know, black people, Africans in this country anymore. You know, this thing has really gotten that bad to where it's affecting white America, Asians, Mexican, everybody is being affected by this. You know, so I just saw a video, Rich, and it's really disturbing video of this young white Caucasian kid, can't think of his name on the video, shooting a box of Jordans, man. This is, like, insane that this kid, what he's talking about and what he's doing. Like, I have children, you know, I have kids growing up that I mentioned, and they're going to be in school with kids like this. Like, this is crazy, man. It's madness that, you know, you think about these things and have to think about these things, but we need to talk about it. We need to get this stuff addressed, because if we don't, it's only going to get worse.
And obviously, you represent the city of Baltimore, which has been in the news in these conversations as well. How much were you thinking, mulling about that? About how much to push the gas pedal on that front, Ed?
Everything, you know, I've done was for that city. You know, I understand how bad it is in our school systems up there. I understand how bad, you know, my people are treated. You know, because the resources that the government won't even allow you to go in there and help them with, you know, is restrictions, you know, from a government standpoint in the school system. And that's terrible, man. You know, and I didn't want to get too political or anything up there. I'm not a big political guy. I speak on a lot of it. You know, I didn't want to kind of drown out the ceremony with certain things, but you definitely wanted to mention it, you know, as best as could and word it as best as could, to where you bring some attention to it. You know, our country needs it, man. We need to be talking about certain things, you know, and people shouldn't be upset that we're talking about it, because these things are happening, you know. You know, like Manny said, you know, these things happen in other countries, and you feel for the people until it's close to home, you know. And right now, it is close to home. It is real close to home. You know, it's been close to home. These things have been happening. You know, us Americans, we've been dealing with our own terrorist act, so to say, in this country. You know, like, we've been doing this, you know, for a long time.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Ed Reed right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk a little bit about your new home, which is the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ed, who did you meet this weekend, come across, and that's now a fellow gold jacketer that really blew you away, that you're like, okay, I've made it? Was there one?
Yeah, all those guys really blown me away, man. Honestly, I haven't talked to a lot of them, but, you know, just being in that room, being in their presence, you know, has really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And, you know, it was awesome being in that locker room. I actually woke up this morning ready to play, you know, ready to go to practice with these guys. You know, Mel Blount was my guy, though. You know, me and Mel have been talking. Every time he see me, man, he gives me a hug, tell me how proud he is of me, you know, and he and I have just been talking, exchanged numbers. I actually met his son. His son works at the Pro Football Hall of Fame appeal, you know, so it was just really cool to see him, to meet him, talk to him, you know, and being that he's a Steeler, you know, that was even better. You know, like the person you hit it off with, you know, played for the other team. You know, like that's been the best. That right there has honestly been the best, talking to Mr. Blount. Well, you know, I was very honored, you know, to talk with him and sure for him to be like, you know, we need to hang out and play some golf.
You know, I mean, he still looks like him, and Bruce Smith looks like they could still give me some snaps and get some takeaways too, Ed. That's what they look like to me.
No doubt about it.
Right?
No doubt about it.
You know, that's what that looks like to me. And then what was it like now that you and Ray Lewis, you can look at each other? You're both in that club now. I mean, you knew it was going to happen one day deep down. You really probably couldn't voice it, but it's official. You and Ray Lewis, back-to-back years, Pro Football Hall of Famers, Miami Hurricanes, and so on and so forth. What did that mean now that it's done, Ed? That book is now written.
Yeah, I mean, it's a standard we have, is a standard we set for, you know, future Hurricanes, future Ravens, you know, to understand, like, you know, we put in some work. You know, you have to put in some work, you know, and you have to work together, you know. Man, I'm so excited, you know, the fact that it really happened, that we back-to-back. You know, we trained so hard, Ray and I. You know, we talked about so much, been through so much, you know, together. And to go in there after my brother, you know, to still be on his team and still be that safety behind him, you know, it's an awesome feeling.
Your bust is amazing. I told you this on the network the other night when you joined us live. I mean, that thing could go in the Louvre, if not the Hall of Fame. It's perfect, Ed. I wonder what you think.
Man, I knew exactly how it was going to look. You know, I tried to get some snippets of it, you know, on my IG, you know, earlier in the year, and I knew what it was going to look like. You know, I knew it was a Game of Thrones type feel to it. You know, it had that look like a wildling. You know, like my man, like I said, I'm the original Jon Snow, protecting the wall from the Night King. You know, so I knew what it was going to be. And Mr. Blair Buswell, man, he and his wife are awesome. She actually came in like an hour or so after we was in there and was like, "You have to do his hair. You have to make sure we have this hair on that bus. Can you do this hair like this?" And they worked it out.
And your only request was what again for the bus? That you said, I just need this? What was that?
Yeah, I only needed that. If you look closely to my bus, as you look at it, it's on the right side, my left. I ran into a mailbox playing Little League football. I mean, not Little League. I was playing street football on the playground, as we called it at the time, in Shrewsbury. And I'm running out for a pass, and I got my guy beat by like 5 yards, and I can't remember who was quarterback, and threw the ball sky high and real far. And as I'm running to get the ball, I'm running. My body's forward, but my head is all the way back. And as the ball comes down and I catch the ball, I hit the mailbox. You know, and I had, you know, concussed, blood everywhere. holding my head, like, God, my head is hurting, my head is hurting. And you know how kids are, all the kids are like, hey, move your hand. Move your hand, let us see it, let us see it. And as I move my hand, I see nothing but blood. And I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. I think I passed out. And the next thing I remember them telling me is that your dad is on the way. And sure enough, my dad came pick me up, and we went and get stitches.
And now it's
So I had
memorialized.
to make sure that scar was on there. It's a football scar.
Now it's memorialized forevermore. It's amazing. That's amazing. Hey, before I let you go, Ed, what next? You coaching? You got that in you, you think? What are you going to do?
I have it in me, Rich. You know, right now it's recovery. It's recovery. You know, and it's funny, I was sitting in the house when I got home last night, Rich, and I was just taking notes and reading my book and listening to some John Coltrane. And it's probably like 12:30 at this point, and I'm just writing things down. You know, and one of those questions to myself was, what's next? You know, though I've already, you know, been working on my foundation. My foundation is my job. You know, the things I do in the community of Baltimore. I have my golf tournament coming up there, August 19th, that I've been doing for the last 10-plus years. And we have a gala up there with a 1920 team coming up. And, you know, that's what I do. You know, my foundation is what I do. You know, getting my story out, you know, about people who help me, you know, how encouraging it is to work together and have unity around you, you know, is key. But hopefully I'll be finishing my cigar at the beginning of next year sometime, you know, so that'll be a joy for me. I got to go visit some factories and stuff like that. So we'll see, Rich. There's a couple things going, man. Coaching, you know, yes, I coach my son all the time. You know, I think we're about to get back in flag football here soon. So, you know, he's number one. He's the number one player to me, you know, that I have to coach. So maybe be up in Baltimore a few times. Hopefully I can get around the facility now, you know, and help those guys out over there because obviously Baltimore has a big, you know, big place in my heart, huge spot in my heart.
Sure.
And I know how people around there are always like, hey, won't you come help us? Won't you come help us? And they don't realize, like, you just can't up and show up at the facility and say, you know, I'm coaching.
I got 2 more minutes left, Ed. Ask him the poll question. Who better to ask than one of the greatest ball hawks of all time, Ed Reed? Our poll question. Brockman, you've got the floor.
Hey, Ed, congratulations on your Hall of Fame. Poll today, which QB would you want for the next 3 years? Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger.
All the OGs, Ed. Who'd you take?
What quarterback I would want?
If you were playing on a team, which quarterback would you want for the next 3 years? Brady just signed a 2-year extension for 3 years.
It could be any quarterback?
No, those 4. You got to choose one of those 4 of our poll question.
Tom Brady, man. Come on, man. That's easy. Tom. TV.
Is that because he had on his glove always know where 20 is? Is that why?
Nope. No, not at all. It's because he's 180, 1B, 1C, however you want to put it. Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, however you want to put that.
Okay.
My book.
That's your answer. I love it. Ed, I couldn't be happier for you. I've told you this a million times, and I don't care who knows it, so I'll say it into the microphone here. I love you, and I'm so thrilled for you, and I cannot wait to see anything more from you, anything I can do for you at edreedfoundation.org. People can get involved in your foundation, anything. You know where to reach me.
True. I love you too, brother. You
Thanks.
know that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means the world. And so does my wife. Susie wanted me to send my best to you, and congrats to you too, Ed.
Tell her and the little ones hello, man.
I will. I will do that right back at you. Congrats again, Ed. That was awesome to see. That's Ed Reed, Pro Football Hall of Famer at 20ER.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.